Hi there, my name is Connor McDaniels. I'm the representative for Ireland, and I'm here to tell you that Ireland is the best country of all three. And by being best, I mean you should live there and not in Hong Kong or Australia. Those countries are bad. So let's start with my ancient artifact, the bag of potatoes. This, as you can see, is very brown and ancienty and very stinky and moldy. Oh man, why is this the artifact to represent Ireland? Well, because of the Irish potato famine that began in 1845 and ended in 1852, where there was mass starvation, emigration, and disease spread all over the country. Population decreased by about 25%, and around 1 to 1.5 million people died. Ireland's problem was that they heavily relied solely on the potato crop, because it was nutritious and harvests were plentiful, enough to feed a farmer's family and the livestock. However, a plant pathogen infested all the growing potatoes, making them inedible by surrounding the interior with slime and bacteria. Later on, the pathogen was discovered and the chemicals were invented to remove them. Today, the population is half of what it was in the 1800s.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. My name is Jackson Didgeridoo. I'm from Australia. My father is a former war criminal. His job now is a kangaroo farmer. You see, there are a lot of wild animals in Australia, but that doesn't really bother me. Today I'll be talking about why Australia is the best country in the world. Australia is located in the continent of Oceania, and our land mass takes up the majority of the continent. That is, besides the small country of New Zealand. We have a population of 24.6 million people, but considering how big our country is, it's not a lot of people.
Hey sir, can I interview you for a quick second?
Oh, sure. Gucci closes in 30 minutes. I have to get there for the slides drop, but should have time for a quick interview.
Great, thank you so much for your time. So first of all, what's your name?
My name is Patrick, and I'm a tourist stopping by Hong Kong for a few days. I was born in Hong Kong, but I moved to Canada to join a bagpipe squad, and I've lived there ever since. In the few years that I lived in Hong Kong, I've really come to appreciate the city and the economic freedom that comes with living in the city.
Now, enough with the anguish and despair. Let's move on to some general information about the country. It's located in the northwestern part of Europe with a population of 4.8 million. It has a life expectancy of 81.6 years, 19.6 years of expected schooling, 12.5 mean years of schooling. A gross national income of 53,754 per capita. Ireland does have a few natural resources like natural gas and petroleum. Natural gas production comes from gas fields in Kinsale and Corrib, but they also import from Britain through pipelines. Ireland's main industry are pharmaceutical products. In fact, it's rated 9 out of top 10 countries with the largest pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical products are its largest exports and are extremely vital to its economy because of its highly skilled workforce, medicine, easy accessibility to all of Europe, low corporate taxes, and high standards and reputation.
So, can you tell me more about Australia?
Fair income. Australia's great.
But
Our natural resources include coal, gold, and uranium. The Down Under is also one of the most popular tourist attractions in the world, making tourism one of its most popular industries.
so, tell me some more about Hong Kong.
So you may be wondering, well, Hong Kong isn't a country though. Well, Hong Kong is a compact and dense port city off the coast of China in southeastern Asia, with a population of approximately 7.4 million. Hong Kong was taken as a British colony until 1997, and due to the separation with the native country of China, Hong Kong's economic policies and governing systems run really different from the Republic of China, and they have independent attributes that are similar to an independent country. So as a result, the stabilizing factors of an economy such as GDP, inflation, and unemployment can be measured and visualized separately. Are these expired? I'll take them. Hong Kong's main industry is in providing financial services for the world, and the main resources are various minerals and sand. So, can you tell me more about the GDP and the inflation rate of Ireland?
Yeah, currently its GDP is increasing. It is at 333.6 billion US dollars, ranked 33rd. There is immense economic growth in Ireland, and it all started in 2013 when the economic depression ended. Then GDP was like as low as 221 billion US dollars, and it's now consistently growing due to the constant increase in government and consumer spending and exceedingly high exports in contrast to imports. Starting from 2013, it has been greatly increasing because of its low taxes, low population, high US investment, and educated citizens. Ireland's major industries include agriculture, beverages, clothing, chemicals, construction, electronics, data processing, food processing, textiles, tourism, machinery, and pharmaceuticals. The inflation rate is pretty much stable. It has been for about 5 years, sometimes dropping below 0%, but currently it's at 1.1%. Again, with the economic depression, in 2008 it has dropped to about negative 6.4%. So at this point, GDP was low, unemployment was high, everything was cheaper, but in a significant amount, which destroyed the economy greatly. It grew to 2.5% in 2011 and dropped to 0% in 2014, where it is now remaining fairly stable. Ooh! Red wine. Oh, this is wonderful. This is marvelous.
So, how about some economic indicators or some macroeconomic performance over the years?
Direct income. You know, it's interesting because I only have two friends. One is from Hong Kong and the other one from Ireland. My friends from Ireland and Hong Kong, you know, they keep telling me how their GDP is always growing. Well, guess what? It's
strikingly similar
in my scenario as well, as the GDP of Australia has been growing and is projected to grow into future years.
Go.
Since 2015, Australia's GDP has increased from 1,233 billion US dollars to a higher 1,380 billion US dollars in 2017. And although from 2013 to 2015, the nominal GDP was decreasing, the real GDP growth rate has always been positive. And we must remember that real GDP is a better way of measuring a country's GDP than just nominal GDP. Like Jewelakers, who even uses nominal GDP. Anyways, not only is Australia's GDP growing currently, it is projected to grow into the future years, as I said earlier, even to the year 2022. Regarding inflation, the Down Under is also similar to Hong Kongese and Irish peoples. Since 2014, there has been a slight decrease of the CPI rating from 2.41% to a low of 1.28% in 2016, and has increased to 1.97% as of 2017. It is projected to continue to increase slightly over the next few years. But since there are only pretty small changes, there isn't any significant problems, and we have a generally stable economy. One aspect of our economy that is different from Hong Kong and Ireland is that our unemployment has increased and decreased throughout the past few years. On the other hand, our government spending has always been increasing over the past few years, but regardless, our government budget is negative and increasing, which I reckon is strikingly different from Hong Kong's government budget. Oh no, my kangaroo is getting away!
Interesting. So, sir, do you have any macroeconomic indicators that can back up your argument?
Well, I have a few friends in Australia as well as Ireland, and both countries rank fairly similarly. We're all pretty high up on the HDI. Please, sir, like, this is a shopping area. Can you, like, just away from the shopping area, okay? Disgusting. Get out of my mall. So anyways, over the past 5 years, the GDP of Hong Kong has grown from 275.7 billion United States dollars in 2013 to 341.45 billion USD in 2017. So according to current patterns, oh, it's a nice bag. So according to current patterns, the GDP of Hong Kong is projected to continually rise in the upcoming years at a stable rate. On the other hand, inflation rate is similar to that of my friends' home countries as well. The inflation rate of Hong Kong has experienced an overall decrease over time, being at a maximum of 6% in 2014, a low of 0% in 2017, and 2.1% in the present day. This is huge!
Thank you, Jesus, for this drink. It's curing my depression. Lost my dog. My girlfriend left me. You're the only one I have left. Government spending has been increasing since the Depression, with only a few recessions in the trend. It was at about 6,350 million euros in 2013, but now it's at 7,817 million euros. The government budget is currently at 0% news and constantly increased before it hit the 0% mark. Its lowest was at 32.1% during the Depression in 2012. The fiscal government policies have been slightly balanced since the economic growth after the Depression. Corporate taxes have remained the same at 12.5%. But personal income, the personal income taxes were increased from 46 to 48%. The sales taxes were increased also by 2% from 21 to 23%. Social security rate also increased from 14.13%. That's good. And to 14.8%. So that's a little weird. Just a bit weird. But during the Depression, government spending was decreasing and taxes were rising. So they took the contractionary fiscal policy way too far. Spending now is increasing, but so are the taxes. So fiscal policy is on a balanced stream right now. Where am I? I'm sorry for this inconvenience. Oh, Ireland, however, I'm back. Ireland is clearly in the expansionary state right now. Overall, because of their expansionary monetary policy. Ireland's interest rate is currently at 0%, constantly decreasing from 2.25% during the economic depression. This means that lenders do not charge borrowers extra annually or monthly, which encourages people to take more loans for big purchases. Increasing consumer spending and GDP, it discourages saving because banks would not place interest on deposits. Looking at the money supply, M3, I don't know what that means, by the way. It greatly decreases during the Depression, but begins to gradually increase after the bailout. Currently, it's at 234,000 million, and its amount during the Depression was 165,000 million. Government bonds have decreased from 12% at the peak of the recession and now at 0.36%. High money supply, high just like me, and low interest rates means expansionary monetary policy. https://www.history.com/
Ready, go. So, tell me about government policy.
Well, the Down Under's fiscal policy is currently contractionary, since our government budget is negative and increasing. Although our spending has increased over the past years, it must be because our government revenue has been increasing more than our spending, and that is why our budget is still increasing. On the other hand, expansionary monetary policy has been applied in Australia since money supply has been increasing and interest rates have been decreasing. Australia is also taking part in ethical consumption and has specific farming organizations and programs to ensure that the meats produced here are produced in an ethical manner and that the animals are raised with care, the environment is preserved, and the farmers have enough to eat.
Did you get it?
Sorry, that did come.
So in Hong Kong, the government runs a budget surplus due to its very free economy. A budget surplus means that the revenues of the city exceed the expenditures. So for the last 10 years, the trends of Hong Kong government imply that the government is running an expansionary fiscal policy with an overall increase in government spending over time and a low amount of salary tax. Hong Kong's debt increases per year, but the expansionary fiscal policy helps to combat unemployment within the city. So it allows the official unemployment rate to remain at a very low 2.8%. So in terms of monetary policy, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, which is in charge of money supply and interest rates, is steadily raising interest over time. So based on the other factors that indicate the policies run by the government, the trends observed by these three indicators suggest that the Hong Kong Monetary Authority is running a contractionary monetary policy to combat inflation. So although money supply has decreased, both interest rate and the 10-year bond are decreasing.
The unemployment rate in Ireland is decreasing, currently at 5.4%. In the Depression, it went to as high as 16%, then consistently dropped in 2012. The results during the Depression are interesting because there was immense immigration due to deflation, loss of GDP, lower living standards, and increased crime rates. Perfect reasons to leave the country. People left for the better living conditions, lowering the population and labor force population. Participation rate followed the exact trend, decreasing for the same percentages. Ooh, stars.
Wow, I never knew that. So if I wanted to get a job in Australia, what are some employment conditions?
Well, first of all, the minimum wage in Australia is $18.93 in Australian dollars per hour, which is around 17.85 US dollars. We also have a pregnancy leave or maternity leave that workers are entitled to, and that is a very nice 12 months.
12 months?
Well, at the same time, you don't get paid. There are around 4 to 7 statutory holidays per year, depending on the province or territory that you live in. And as a worker, you are also entitled to 28 days of holidays per year. As of 2017, the youth unemployment rate was 12.6% and has been decreasing over the last 2 years. One reason for higher youth unemployment is that often these younger folks don't get hired because of their lack of experience, which is a trial we all face when we were still youngsters.
Okay, so if I wanted to live in Hong Kong in the future, what are some things I have to be aware of?
So in terms of unemployment, the legal age of unemployment in Hong Kong is 18 years old. However, children aged 13 to 17 can be employed, although certain conditions apply, such as you need like a written parental consent.
Excuse me, can you please focus your attention here?
Sorry. Effective May 2019, the new statutory minimum wage in Hong Kong is 37.5 Hong Kong dollars. That might seem like a lot, but with like the new conversion rates and everything, that's around 6.45 Canadian dollars per hour.
What?
Yeah, but the good thing is minimum wage isn't like, you don't have to be working minimum wage. Like, of course, like starting jobs for children and everything, right? But as you work up the chain, like it gets a lot better from there. In the calendar year of 2019, Hong Kong has 12 statutory holidays, so 12, and are permitted to 7 days of annual leave with pay, and that as long as they're working 12 months with continuous pay. In terms of pregnancy or mat leaves, that's any pregnant woman is entitled to around 10 weeks of maternity leave with pay. So youth unemployment is an important aspect of overall unemployment, right? And it rests at a current 5%, and it just fluctuates between 4.7 and 5%. It fluctuates between 7% and 4.7. Sorry, my bad. Just remembering something different. Oh, the air. But yeah, 4.7%. And I'm thinking these differences usually just come with like scheduling in terms of in terms of school scheduling, just because children or students have to work and it really affects their unemployment times. And these employment measures are every 6 months or so. Yeah, that's basically it for Hong Kong. In the bustling metropolis of Hong Kong, I'd say anyone can find their footing in the industry, so that's finances or commerce or tourism. There are a lot of opportunities, and I like to think of it as the New York of the East, you know? As for now, though, I have to go. The Gucci store opens in 5 minutes, and I can't miss this drop. So I'm gonna heat on out of here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So how have the living standards been?
Well, the living standards in Australia, our HDI rating, the Human Development Index, as of last year was 0.923, but this year has risen to 0.939, and that's the third highest in the world. Talk about that, Hong Kong and Ireland. I hear that Hong Kong and the Irish HDI have also been increasing, but that's okay. Ours is the highest, and clearly I live in the superior country. And as for now, I must return to my kangaroo flock, or else my father will be very angry with me.
Bye! Bye, Jackson!
The HDI ranking of the 3 countries we're looking at is the second highest at 0.938, ranked 4th out of the entire world.
So economically speaking, Hong Kong ranks a really high 0.933 on the United Nations HDI, or Human Development Index. Although not as high as Australia in the current year, Hong Kong's Excuse me? This is a store. Can you take your eating somewhere else? Thank you. Get out! Although it's not as high as Australia in the current year, Hong Kong's HDI has remained fairly stable throughout the years.